Exactly how to run meta ads for clothing brands with a low budget, okay? If you don't have budget and you want to run ads and scale, you're in the right video, okay? The one thing you need to realize is all the results I've gotten on my clients, we did not have a big budget to start off with, especially the brands we've scaled from 0 to 10, 20, 30, 50. They're all in the same position as you are, okay? I am about to leak the strategy that got my brands these results, okay? PV from 0 to 10, Flower to hit consistent 100K, Pluto Golf from 0 to 25, 0 to 12, Lonely Track, Animal Sean 1K to 33, Society 15 to 65K in 2 months, Burma 0 to 10, you get the point, okay? But specific details I do want to go over, okay? This retargeting campaign from one of my brands, stats last 14 days. We spent $575 spent, okay? And there's a reason I'm going to tell you this, okay? To make $6,705.40 USD, okay? Which is insane. This client, okay, scaling to 10K a month without huge ad spend, posting every day for no reason, trying a bunch of different new methods that you know won't work and waste your time. We hit 12.6K, which is basically 13K in 1 month while only spending 2.5K on ad spend. That is a 7.32 return of ad spend, okay? One of mine, like another client's 8.33 ROAS. We launched the ad 3 days ago, spent only $113 and made close to 1K, okay? This one here, I thought was pretty cool. Bought a new Rolex 1 week in, generated over 8K new sales in the first week. Okay? All the same thing I'm about to talk about in this video today. Okay? Again, this is another one, 15.93 ROAS for 102 website purchases and 436 add to carts. And we only spent $316 in Meta. Okay, do the math, okay? I'm just going through the last one. 10K a week with a ROAS of 10, okay? That's 1K spent, okay? That's ROAS, okay? And the reason I'm showing you this is because it is possible. You don't need a big ad budget to scale. Every one of my clients started with a small budget, okay? And I'm about to break everything, okay? If you want more testimonials, just go through my Instagram, endlessly scroll through here. You're gonna find a bunch of shit, okay? If you have any questions, just shoot me a message on Instagram, okay? Now, the key to running ads and scaling through ads with a low budget is to build a systemized system, okay, right, within the brand to generate insane ROAS, okay? If you see these wins and scales, none of my clients had a return of ad spend below 3. These were all incredible ROASes, okay? And I'm about to show in this video on how you can do this, okay? To achieve this, just working on ads won't get us there. That is, quite frankly, only the 20% of it, okay? The main mechanism that got us there is the product and the ideology of the product and the creative should do 90% of the actual conversion, okay? So logically, before we go into how to set up the ads, we should focus on building the foundation first, okay? So this video is split up into 3 different parts, okay? The first thing is the implementations needed before establishing ad acquisition. So the stuff that we need to get sorted, okay, before running the ads, okay? Number 2, I'm gonna break you down on how to actually A to Z set up the ads inside the ads manager so you can exactly just copy it, okay? So setting up the ad acquisition, okay? And number 3, KPI and database after the ads are running, which is going to be super, super important because, okay, this part, setting the ad acquisition, can take a couple hours, boom, done. But what's gonna happen after you spend your money running ads? What changes do we need to make? How do we even know the ads are going to good? How do we know how the ads are going to flop? These are the stuff that I'm going to teach you in this video so you have a full comprehensive knowledge on what to expect and what to dial, okay? So, first of all, let's go through the implementations needed for establishing the ad acquisition. The first thing we need to do is dial down and optimize our website because you have to understand if we're getting people onto our website and our website doesn't convert, then we're just wasting money, okay? So every dollar we spend, especially for brands that don't have a lot of money to run the ads, which is completely fine, we need to optimize the website so every dollar we spend, it's spent the most efficient way possible, okay? So obviously, this is a lot to go through in this video as well, but there's 2 main things. I'm going to show you some examples from this brand, okay? So 2 main things you should focus on, okay? Simplicity and show your community, okay? So let me show you an example from this specific brand, Comfort. It probably is the fastest growing clothing brand in 2025, and there is a reason why, okay? So simplicity, super simple homepage, okay? Super simple. There's nothing with this going on. All it shows is the best sellers, okay? What's new, one shop now button, okay? and it shows the offers they're running, and it shows the community aspect. Okay, this stuff I want you to add. Whatever your brand is, people love to be a part of communities if it is the right fit. Okay, so try and build this community section. But most importantly, you don't need celebrities, just your customers. Okay, this is that community section, but I want you to also add this on the product page as well. Okay, so you build that trust on the website. That is the two things that we need to have. Simplicity, the use of your website, so even your parents should be able to use it. Okay, obviously if your parents are not very technology friendly, you get the point. Okay, number 2 is we need to develop the winning product, the hero product, and the evergreen product. Okay, so that all sort of comes into one position. Okay, so there's 2 main routes. Okay, number 1, you will either have a proven product with sales. Okay, so if you have already an existing database where you may be doing 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, and there's a specific product that's just outweighing the rest of your collection, then we're going to prioritize that singular product when we run the ads. Okay, if you're a complete beginner and you're not generating any sales yet, which is fine. Okay, we want to do proven product through your competitors of no data. So we want to go off what I like to call a base silhouette model. Okay, what's in trend right now? Okay, so for example, if the camo cargo jorts were in trend and you have something similar to that, then we're going to push that product because it's already in trend from your competitors and they're printing. So we're going to try and steal some of the customers back to us with our ad acquisition. Okay, so there's 2 ways. If you already have a proven database and you already have a bit of an established niche by yourself, then I would go down the route of having the product, already the existing product that already has data to it. Okay, building out creative assets. This is going to be huge because this is going to be the fuel for the ad acquisition. Okay, so I've laid down to you the multiple creative assets, and this is stuff you should build out before you run the ads. This is super important because when I'm actually setting up the ads, I'm going to go back to this image, okay, and then show you why. Okay, so static image, there's flat lay, vertical, right? So the flat lays here, some high level examples. We have professional model shots, okay, in the studio shots, very simple like this. Okay, we have lifestyle pictures. So lifestyle pictures, the reason why they work so great is because the authenticity. Okay, it doesn't, when you see this type of stuff, it doesn't feel like it's in an actual ad. Okay, it just feels like someone's post. That's why it works so well. Okay, detailed product / close-up. So this is a close-up vertical. Okay, quick reminder. It's like, I'm not telling you to make, invest into a studio, etc., but you should have a lot of variables, have a lot of variations in this vertical, and I'm going to show you the reason why when we actually set up the ads. Okay, so that's the main things for static. For infos, okay, we have performance info. So if you have a performance product, okay, we have material info for the material products, showcasing the USP of the material of the product through the words. We have branding and visual info. These work great, especially for streetwear brand, and an offer info. If you're running an offer like this, I would rip this, okay? So, and then we have 2 video creatives, quality commercial, flat lay video, on model close-up, UGC influencer, POV, and then we have influencer / UGC, unboxing, get ready with me, TikTok reviews, trending sounds, and influencer fit pics, okay? You gotta understand, when we're running ads in 2025, we're always going to be testing. So it's not a position where we just pick these ads and that's us set for the next 5 months. No, this is why we want to make a big volume of ads when we first start. So we can just test. While they're testing, they're still going to go out and make new ones through our ad data. Okay, so that is super important. Okay, I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the 4th thing is working out the brand unit economics. Okay, so there's a lot to it. By the way, guys, if you want this document, just shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll happily send this over to you. Okay, so obviously product margins, contribution margins before ads, but the main thing you need to work out is our break-even ROAS. So our break-even ROAS is basically what is the ROAS number we need to hit break-even, and we know we're not losing money on ads. That sounds pretty fucking important, right? So just use this website. I might leave this in the link in the bio, okay? If I forget, then just use this, okay? And then you want to put your product selling price, so let's just say it's 100, and then product cost, 10, then that means a break-even ROAS of 1.1, let's be more realistic, okay? Product cost us to make 35, that was more than 54, okay? Ideally, when you're scaling, your break-even ROAS should be anywhere from 1.3 to 1.8. Anything over 1.8 is gonna be hard to scale because one thing here is calculating target ROAS. Okay, so there's two things. One is break-even ROAS, understanding what ROAS we need to hit break-even, and target ROAS is a ROAS we set with each of our clients to ensure when we're scaling, we have enough budget. So for example, let's just say, we're just going off this example, okay? We have a 1.5 for break-even ROAS, then our target ROAS will be +1, so 2.5. That means we have a safe margin between our break-even and when we're putting more back into the ads. Right? I hope that makes sense, okay? So again, you just take a pause of this video, read over this high-level example here, okay? And then we have the brand new economic product margins. This should be your high-ticket products, low-ticket products, contribution margins, everything, okay? But that should be pretty simple. The number one thing you need to work out is your break-even ROAS, okay? And then work out target ROAS, which is usually +1 or, yeah, usually +1 because we don't have a big budget to play around with, okay? So, last thing I want to go through before we show the setting up the actual ad acquisition is what I like to call profile presentation. Okay, think of like your Instagram profile, think of it as like a retail store, okay? The two images here, two different brands. Let me ask you a question. Which one do you think you're going to go in and shop from, okay? We have brand number 1. I don't even know what that is. And then we have brand number 2, right? Let's just forget about the brand. Let's just forget about the clothes. In terms of presentation and how well the brand is perceived, which shop do you think you're going to go and shop, right? 99% of normal people are going to answer this. It's not because of BAPE, it's because how well the store is presented, okay? This is the same ideology on your Instagram profile. No one talks about this. Right? I don't know why. This is really, really important. So when you see brands like Eric Emanuel, Alo, Gymshark, their presentation on the first 6 posts is fucking beautiful. The quality is beautiful. The product presentation is beautiful. They showcase how the product should be used. Okay? Everything's lined up perfectly. Okay? I'll show you some examples. Eric Emanuel, again, flat lays, lifestyle, product use, again, different faces, everything. Okay? All these brands have these things common on their Instagram profile. They have quality control, so all of their creatives are insane quality. Okay, if you have any shitty creatives that are on the top of the feed, delete them. Okay, it's not going to do you any good. Number 2 is creative variety. They don't just go flat lay, or dark car park on background, dark park car. What, you get the point, right? They have flat lays here, they have close-up vertical here, they have lifestyle picture here, they have different faces, different UGC, you get the point, okay? Sort of tying down to creative variety is humanized content, okay? Different faces, that builds trust, okay? This is the same ideology of which shop would you go into and buy, right? If they click on an ad and they're going to check out an Instagram profile before they buy, right? We want it presented well, okay? So, showcases lifestyle / utility of the product, most importantly, how the product should be used. They're showcasing that, okay? Without these key pillars within the brand profile, your brand will like to gain trust with cold customers, which is important when running ads, okay? Struggle to maintain high return of ad spend, which is exactly what we need when we're building up the strategy, which I'm going to show you step by step, okay? And what we're going to have to deal with is we're not going to be able to attract the right ICP, okay? Which equates to no sales, okay? If you have any question with this, please give me a message because this is important, okay? Now, we're gonna go into actually the ad account and set this up step by step, A to Z on how me and my clients do it, okay? Okay, as you can see, I'm in a different setting here just because my Wi-Fi was so terrible in that room I was in, okay? So, now we're in our ad account, okay? I'm just using one of my clients' brands ad account, okay? So, let's get through the actual meat of this video because this is probably the part you were waiting on. I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step processes on how you can set it up, okay? So, number one, first thing you want to make sure is you're in the right ad account, okay? So, make sure you're in the right ad account, don't do anything stupid, okay? And you want to always start off the campaign level here, okay? So, let's create, okay? And obviously, buying type is 100% of the time going to be auction. I have never used this before, right? Okay, and choose campaign objective, okay? So, there's awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, ad promotion, and sales, okay? I'm always going to use sales well, I'm only going to use traffic or leads if the whole objective of this is to bring attention towards the sign up page. If not, then 99% of the time I'm going to use sales because we're spending money to get sales. Like, what else is for, right? So, sales, okay, and press continue. Then you will get to this page here, okay? So, campaign name, okay? So I usually name it Cho because that's my name, okay? And then for this specific campaign I'm about to teach you, it's really powerful, okay? It's what I like to call an ABO setup, right? So it's where the ad set, right, is where the budget is, right? And I'm about to explain why we're doing this, okay? So manual, okay? So campaign name, and then we have the campaign detail, which buying type is auction as we discussed below. Campaign objective is sales. Advantage plus catalog ads are off, okay? And the budget strategy, we want to set the ad set budget, okay? And then we want to turn this off, okay? Just copy this, okay? And the reason for this is because if we let Facebook control our budget, especially for a newer ad account that doesn't have existing data, then Facebook's, like, logically thinking, Facebook's not going to be very good at it because it doesn't have a lot of data to play around with, right? So at the start, we always want to be controlling our own budget, okay, and our own distribution of where it should go. As long as we can read the right KPI, we have the right input in terms of creative assets, then this is going to be very powerful, okay? So budget strategy ads, and then turn this is a new thing from Facebook. It basically just shares your budget with the other ad sets and kind of like letting Facebook handle it, but we want it fair spend because we're testing creative verticals and creative verticals, okay? So A/B test off, okay? Audience, and leave everything off. Simple. That's the campaign level. Now let's go into the ad set level, okay? Now I'm gonna go back to this vertical chart. Now this is very important. We want to choose 2 verticals, creative styles, that has the best chance of working. This isn't necessarily going to be the A factor, and this isn't necessarily going to be the only creative we use, but we want to choose a creative that has the best chance of working. For example, if I'm running a streetwear brand, I would ideally choose flat lays because the primary selling point is the design of the product, and flat lays capture that very, very well, okay? But you need to do research on your competitors, see what they're running, but the easiest way to do this as well is your organic database. What type of post you've already done has got the highest engagement. So for example, if it's one of those posts, then I will do a whole ad set for the branding / visual info, okay? So the reason I've laid it out like this is because this blue tab here, this is the exact split I want you to go into different ad sets, okay? So for example, let's just say I'm doing the basic flat lay, then I will name this ad set flat lay, right? And then maybe the second ad set, right, I'm going to show you how we can do this, is going to be, let's just go, performance info, right? Because we've seen that work best on our competitors, okay? So, and then we'll name the performance info number 1, right? Because we're going to make variations of it. But let's focus on, let's just say for this example here, I'm going to go flat lay now. By the way, if you have any questions about this, just shoot me a DM, okay? So flat lay. And then conversion location, you want website, okay? Single website. Load up, cool. Performance goal, there's a lot of here, okay? We always want to go maximize number of conversions, okay? And data sets, make sure you have your right pixel with the right conversion API, okay? So conversion event, obviously you want to click purchase, all right? It's pretty stupid if you optimize for add to carts, then you're optimizing for add to carts, okay? You get the point, okay? So this should be very straightforward so far, okay? Cost per result goal is none. We don't have a result with the purchase, and no value rules, okay? This stuff you don't rarely touch, okay? Now, budget and schedule. The biggest misconception is you need to have $50 a day to start up with. This is an ABO setup, and we're going to test vertical, so we're going to have 2 ad sets. So go minimum $10 a day on the ad set. So if we have 2 ad sets, 10 plus 10 equals 20. We'll be spending $20 a day, which is very small, okay? So $10 a day is the minimum we'll go, okay? $10 a day. Leave this here, nothing here. Audience on. For the location, just make sure this is your own country. So if you live in the States, then just make sure you have your own, put United States. If you live in Australia like me, then put location of Australia, where the brand is originally from, okay? And then we want the advantage plus on for placement. Let's work better and suggested ads on. Very, very easy, Okay, very easy. Okay, so let's go into this. So I'm gonna name this 1, right? So this is where it gets a bit tricky because this is the actual ad level now. So campaign level is basically the heart of the ad account, right? You basically just control what the budget is, what the main objective is, where the main audience is, okay? Not flat label, the ad set is where we go to the actual conversions, is it on the website, okay? Where's the budget gonna be? Okay, as you can see, the budget's in the ad set because we've set it to ABO, ad set budget optimization, okay? This is where we control the audiences, this is where we control the placements, if it's going to be shown on Instagram and Facebook, this is where we chose the geographical locations and all that type of stuff in audiences. But we're going to go broad because right now our main objective isn't to do interest targeting, detail, all that bullshit. Our main objective only to scale fast we can and achieve these incredible ROAS is to find a creative vertical that works. That is the highest lever we can pull to get there. Okay, and the ad is where we actually do and insert the creatives and optimize the creatives and everything. Okay, so don't worry, I'm gonna walk you down step by step on how to do this. Okay, so we want this ad name. I name it 1 because usually for this we have 3 to 5 ads. So every ad set you have on the ad set budget, you don't want to go over 5 ads. You always want to have 3 to 5. Okay, so we have identity. Make sure you have your Facebook page, Instagram page. If you don't have a Threads profile, don't even worry, that just doesn't matter, okay? And then this is where we have create ad. You always want to create a new ad. Don't want to use existing posts or don't even want to use that hot markup. This bullshit, okay? Now, media setup, 100% of the time, go manual upload because we want to put our own creatives in instead of having the catalog ads on, okay? Now, for format, you only have 2 options here. Don't worry about flexible, don't worry about collection. It's either single image or video or a carousel, man. That's pretty straightforward. So if you have a carousel ad, so for example, let's just say you had a flat lay of this product here, and you had this flat lay, this first image and the second image more of a close-up on this pattern, then I would choose carousel, right? But for this example here, I'm just gonna go single image, okay? Turn multi-advertiser ads on. This has worked very well for my brands, okay? This is not new, but it's very, some people have it up, but we have it on. Now, destinations, okay? I'm gonna skip this for now. You can leave this on. I'm gonna go straight to the ad creative. So I'm gonna show you, I'm not even gonna pause this video. I'm gonna show you step by step on how to actually add the ads, okay? So set up creative, so image or video ad, and as you can see in this ad set here, we have flat lay. So we're gonna add a flat lay. So we go image ad here, okay? Creative setup, for this one, just leave everything on as is, right? Do not really touch this, okay? Because like let Facebook handle the creative setup. So click next. Now this is the media stuff. So okay, this is where we want to add the actual creative itself. So we're going flat lay, so I'll just put this one here. Okay. Oh, let's just use one of our existing images. Let me load up real quick. Okay, perfect, flat lay. Okay. Next. Load it up and make sure when you put your flat lays in, you crop it to 1080 by 1080. Okay, this is super important. As you can see, this is already being cropped to 1080 by 1080. Okay, and for square, vertical, and horizontal, you always want to put the original. Okay, so it doesn't go like this and it crops out. You always want to go original. This is super important. Okay. Next, okay, this is the text part where we put the primary text, headline, description, and call to action. Okay. So I'm gonna sort of freestyle this, okay? So let's just say we don't have any offer, we don't have anything, cool going on with our brand. Literally, primary text only is going to contribute to 1% of the success, okay? So let's just say, jorts out now, free shipping, worldwide free shipping, Oh, whoa, glitching, okay. Let me redo this. Worldwide free shipping. Easy, okay? And then for headline, I would add some sort of urgency, okay? I have no idea why this just turned on, okay? Turn this off for AI because this is where basically it's gonna generate these AI fonts for you. We don't need that, okay? So for headline, this is where we sort of want to generate the most important out of value, the urgency, scarcity. I'm just gonna say 20 pieces of it. Only 20 pieces made. Only 20 pieces made, okay? So we have jorts out now, Okay, I'll show you why I've laid it out this way. Description, leave that alone just because of the algorithm. Okay, this isn't that good. Okay, and call to action, this is 100% important. Okay, the CTA, if we don't tell them what to do, they're not going to know what to do. That's how stupid they are. Okay, so we want to go to shop now. There we go. And then next. This one, leave it as is. We just want to skip and continue because we don't want any AI stuff. Now for Advantage plus creative enhancements, we actually want to turn everything off. Okay. These are no use. Done. Let this load up. Perfect. So if we go into, this is Facebook, but if we go into Instagram feed here, let this load up real quick. We have jorts out now, worldwide free shipping. Beautiful. Cool. So that's ad one. Okay. Now we need to add 3 to 5 ads in each ad set. So there's a lot of ways you can go about the type of creative. Okay. The main thing you need to understand is you need to put the same style of creative vertical. So if you have like a range of 30 products, then I will try and fit 5 different products, your best selling ones that has the best chance, and just 5, obviously the same photo, but can be for 5 different products. That's different variations of flat lay, right? But if you only have this one product and another color, then I would try and find obviously different not find different product, but different styles of this flat lay. So for example, different styles. So ad 1 can be this, ad 2 can obviously be the different colorway one, let's just say it's black, and then ad 3 can be a different background of this one, ad 4 can be a different background of the black one. You see how there's different variations. It just can't be the same, but it just has to be under the same vertical. Okay, so how you can add it is basically go 1, and then we go quickly duplicate here, and then obviously I'm going to name this 2, and then as we've duplicated, everything should be the same. Okay, and then we just go delete, remove media, and then we want to add media, add image, and then go through the same process. After you've done that, okay, after you've added all your creatives in, okay, main thing is destination, okay. Most people direct their customers to their home page, collection page. If you have like a vertical like the flat lay specifically, this, let's go info specifically, stuff like that. This can depend because we can sometimes lead to a collection page, okay, if you have multiple products showcasing in the image, but 95% of the time, we won't lead them directly to the home page. So make sure in your destination, we go directly to the product page. So make sure when we put the URL for this product, we go directly to the product page of this jorts, okay. So show you an example how you can do this. So this jort here, boom, okay? So when we go preview URL here, we go directly to the product page, okay? Not the collection page. If you have a creative that singularizes the product, then lead this straight to the product page. That's super important because the product page is optimized for purchases you've done, right? So the funnel isn't complex, okay? So obviously I'm not gonna do 5 different ads because it's pretty repetitive, but you sort of get the point, okay? You don't have to do flat lay as well. Just choose one vertical. Okay, so either that be out of all of this type of stuff, okay, and just make variations of it in the ad set. Now, we're not gonna just run one ad set because the whole point of this ABO setup is to test what vertical works the best, okay? So, what we're gonna do is duplicate this. So flat lay 1, we wanna quickly duplicate. So what I've done is press this 3 button here, quickly duplicate, okay? And then it says flat 1 copy, okay? Now, it's time for us to add a second vertical, okay? So let's just say we did professional model shots, okay? Because that's performed well organically, okay? Then we would do prof model shots 1, because this is our first one. We'll delete this, okay? And then we'll go back here and then add in whatever it is, right? Or all the creative is, okay? Same principle though, okay? You need to understand like the professional shots, right? It's the same principle as flat lay, which in the ad set, we're trying to add 3 to 5 different variations, but the only rule that it needs to follow, it needs to follow this vertical. Make sure we don't add any, we don't add any infographics on this ad set because it doesn't make sense, right? We're not testing that. We can test that later once we figure out which one works better compared to flat lay professional models. If these two work, then fucking bloody beautiful, right? You can add a new one when horizontally scaling, okay? But the only objective we have right now is to set these two up, okay? So set it up like that, okay? I highly recommend it. This is the best setup you can have going. Now, The number one question I get is like, what product should I focus on? Okay, I told you from the very start, right? Proven product with sales, a proven product for competitors have no data, right? So professional model shots, if you have model shots of all different products and you have like 30 different products, then just use a 5, right? That has the best chance of selling, okay? So what this will sort of look like is, I'll give you sort of an example, right? We have, different verticals here. So we have the hats vertical, we have the current product vertical. It's all split to like this, okay? So I'm just trying to give you some real life examples, okay? Static info 2s, 3, 2, 1, different, again, like we've tested creative verticals one by one. We have the Gov flat lay 1, flat lay 2, right? All these type of verticals, different ad sets. Again, this setup works really well. It's just really important on the next steps, which I'm about to go through, on how to actually read the data, how to actually read the KPI to enhance it. Because after this, the setup's pretty easy, right? You set up exactly how I taught you. Oh, that's the wrong campaign. This one here. Obviously for this is not finished, but you get the point, right? Flat lay for the ad set 1, professional model shot for the ad set 2. You'll have 3 to 5 ads at each, $10 each, and pretty simple. That's a setup, publish it, okay? Now, in the next role, I'm going to show you some real life examples on what type of KPIs and how to read it so we can actually dial this down and execute. I'm going to explain this in a way that a literal 5-year-old can understand it, okay? Like, if you go onto Meta and you see all these buttons, you sort of like, where do I fucking start, okay? So, I'm going to give you some real-life examples that I've taken screenshots on and sort of go down a live breakthrough on how I would read these data by just looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 KPIs, okay? This is insane, okay? So budget, we have amount spent, we have purchase ROAS, we have website ROAS, we have CTR, and we have frequency, okay? So just from those data, I'm about to show you the decisions you need to be making. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. I'm going to be straight on speed. This isn't just about you make decisions on those. There's a lot more to it, okay? But in terms of this video, and if you're running it, this is going to help you so much in making better, clear decisions, okay? So, from the setup, which you've watched before this video, okay, it's going to be a connected video. The number one thing you realize is you want to spend the ad set until you've hit the average order value of your product. So let's just say we use that Jort as an example when we publish the ad, right? Let's just say that Jort costed $60 and we're spending $10 a day. So we wouldn't even touch the ads until it spends $60 before we look into this KPI decision making stuff, okay? Just a heads up, okay? So obviously $10 per ad set, so it's $60 on the ad set itself until it's spent. We won't even look at it because there's no point. We can have 1 million sales, we can have 0 sales, it just doesn't matter, especially for a new ad account because it just doesn't have that data yet to back it up, okay? So I'm excited to show you this. Okay, I don't think anybody's done this on the internet ever, okay? So example 1, okay, let's just say this brand has been running the ad for 1 month and the break-even ROAS is 1.5. So let's calculate what our target ROAS should be for scaling, right? So it should be around 2 to 2.5. Apologies for my handwriting, okay? I'm using the trackpad because the mouse doesn't connect. Okay, so we have 4 ad sets right now, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and just heads up, this results, they're all under the same structure we format our ad, so it's an ABO, okay? So we have $30 a day, this has 0 ROAS, 0 website ROAS, CTR 1.18, frequency 1.14, but it's only spent $3. What's the first thing I told you guys, right? Don't look at it, don't touch it if it hasn't spent the AOV. So obviously for this, we don't know the exact AOV, but it's $3. We don't even look at that. So 1's out the way, okay? We're not even gonna do anything with 1, okay? So 3. Okay, let's just say the AOV for this one's like $70 because that's normal, okay? $30, so it spent $125, okay? And it's got a 2.36 ROAS, which is pretty good. And then 1.25, 2.36 frequency, okay? So the thing with frequency is you need to understand that frequency is determined by how long the ads has been running. So if it's been only running for a month, if anything's below 4, then it's sweet. Okay, that's the sort of the practicality I want you guys to follow as well. Okay, so this ad set, I would scale up, increase this budget by 20%. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, we're at 1.72, still break even, 1.87. So click-through rate's very good. Frequency is a bit, it's normal. Okay, spending higher though. I'll just leave this, keep it running at this. And then for this one, 270, 0.6, we're actually losing money, as you can see, because it's below our break even. This is why it's so important to know our numbers, because we can analyze this. Our frequency is highest and our CTR is lowest. I will kill this, right? Which means we reduce $40 and just put that into here. Done. That's KPI done, okay? I hope you guys understand this. I find this very simple, okay? Now, another example. Let's just say this is the hard one, okay? Because there's a lot of ad sets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? And our break-even ROAS was this is 1.4, meaning it's anywhere from 1.9 technically to 2.4, okay? That's our target ROAS. So this is a number when we look to increase the budget, but the reason we increase this budget, even though it's not at, it is 2 to 2.5, but it's not actually at 2.5, it's because we killed this, so we're spending it on somewhere else, so distribution, okay? So, let's go through it. Okay. Budget, we're spending $18 a day. We spent $118. The click-through rate is 3.41%, and the ROAS is 4.49, okay? What do you think we should do? All right, scale it up, 20%. Done. Ads at 2. 18, 409, 3.27. Scale it up. Easy, okay? Easy decisions like this, okay? This one's $15 a day, 617, 1.71 ROAS, 5.33. Not hitting our target ROAS. I would leave this, okay? Leave this for now, okay? Let's look at the other ad sets first. We have 12.80, 685, so this is probably the highest spent here, okay? 2.20, okay, 3.53. The reason I'm going to scale this up because number one, the budget's so low, so I want this to actually spend a bit faster so we can actually determine if it will stabilize. Number two, it spent the most, meaning if you have an ad that spent the most and it's the highest ROAS, it's like still target ROAS, that means it has a less chance of falling down if you go and get it up, if that makes sense, because it has the most data backed up to it compared to this and this, right? Like this is more of a stable ad set than this, even though the ROAS is 2 below it, just because of the ad spend, okay? So this one, like I'll kill it, obviously 0.22, and I'll kill this, okay? Because we spent a lot of money, we spent like $500 total, and we're losing money on this. So from this, we said we're gonna go back to number 3, right? We're gonna just put the budget into this. Simple, okay? So that's the KPI analysis, very simple on how you guys should operate, okay? Just make sure you don't touch the ads too quickly, and the rule of thumb, the simple rule of thumb is to spend at least the AOV of the product. So for example, the Jordan is $60, then you should let the ads spend for $60, okay? Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, give me a message on Instagram, I'm more than happy to help you out, but yeah, just please do this, or I just wasted my fucking time making this video. And you wasted your time watching this video, so please do something.